We can't even talk about New Orleans if we don't talk about her great restaurants. And if we're going to talk about her restaurants, let's do it from A to Z. In this multi-part series, we want to take you through some of the greatest restaurants in existence. I mean, you can't throw a dead crawfish without hitting good food here in New Orleans. So the big question is, how did we come up with this list? It's a mix, I gotta tell you. There's some amazing high-end restaurants. There's some dives that are a little more than gas stations. These are the places that we find amazing as locals and from talking with others around us. I know there's going to be ones not on this list and somebody's going to say, hey, that's our favorite. Well, please leave it in the comments below, but we feel that they represent a certain thing. These represent New Orleans. They're almost wholly locally owned places, and they have a certain something about them that I think that lends to them being on the list. Now, as we go along, we'll talk a little about what they specialize in, what type of cuisine, and we'll also talk about some of their most famous dishes. Well, let's get a move on. I'm starting to get hungry. All right, starting off with the letter A. Acme Oyster House is our first on the list. They have numerous locations and are a mainstay for those who visit New Orleans. It's kind of obvious what they're known for, right? Steaks, huh? No, just kidding. Oysters and seafood in general. What should you try? Get some raw or char-grilled oysters and order a Peacemaker po' boy, which includes fried shrimp and oysters and a Tabasco-infused mayonnaise on French bread. If you're brave, get an oyster shooter. That's a freshly shucked oyster with cocktail sauce and vodka served in a shot glass. They don't take reservations, and casual tourist is the dress code of the day. Next up, the American sector. This restaurant is part of the National World War II Museum. Think 1940s meets white tablecloth service meets New Orleans cuisine. I love the 5-star cheeseburger. It's topped with Creole smothered onions, bacon, and 3 cheese sauce. Reservations are accepted, and they're open from lunch and dinner daily. Pretty awesome place to go in conjunction with the museum, in my opinion. All right, Andre's Restaurant. Their motto says it all, from Italy with love. Nestled in the suburbs of Metairie, they've been serving locals for over 40 years. I suggest trying a speckled trout royale, which is topped with crab meat and lemon cream, or their T-bone a la Florentina, a T-bone steak with garlic, olive oil, and fresh herbs over spinach. Reservations are recommended and well worthwhile. Angelo Bracata. Now, this is not a restaurant per se. It's been making New Orleanians happy though since 1905. They specialize in Italian pastries and gelatos, and in my opinion, you have to try the cucciadate. This is a fig cookie that makes me think of my youth, but please don't miss out on the cannolis or the spumoni. Antoine's Restaurant. Now, operating in splendor since 1840, this is the granddaddy of classy restaurants. Since they invented Oyster Rockefeller, you should definitely try it. Also, a can't miss is the classic fish almondine, using local Gulf fish, light flour breading, toasted almonds, brown butter, fresh lemon drizzle. Reservations are highly suggested, and dress code is business casual, so be prepared for that. Arnaud's Restaurant. This is more white tablecloth French Quarter restaurant that is. This is another white tablecloth French Quarter restaurant that is serving the best in Creole cuisine since 1918. Don't miss the shrimp bonade or the oysters bienville. And a special surprise is their Mardi Gras museum inside the restaurant. Reservations are recommended. Dress code says collared shirts required and jackets recommended. A Chaffelaia. We jump up to the Garden District for a Chaffelaia. This restaurant is now known as an establishment that embraces New Orleans culinary traditions while pushing boundaries. What to try? crispy duck leg confit with toasted cornbread gremolata. Reservations are recommended. We were just there weeks ago. Restaurant August. They call themselves Contemporary Creole. This is the high-end, high society dining. The best choice for an open, experimenting palate would be the chef's tasting menu. It varies with whatever is the freshest. Reservations are recommended. Dress code is business casual. And that wraps up the A's. Moving on to B. Bacchanal is an experience laboratory where food, music, and culture collude with the holy vino. Try the smoked catfish dip served with trout roe, microgreens, and lavash crackers. All guests are first come, first serve. It is an amazing place to spend an evening in their courtyard. Basin Seafood and Spirits. A local seafood restaurant serving modernized, lighter versions of traditional Louisiana dishes. I love their char-grilled oysters. Even better than some others we won't say the name of. Also, fried soft-shell crab. Amazing. Reservations are accepted, and it is a great place to go walking and shop in the magazine neighborhood. Bayonets. This is Chef Susan Spicer's James Beard award-winning restaurant. They have some amazing dishes, including one of my favorites in the city. That's the creamy garlic soup. Could even try the veal sweetbreads if you're being especially adventurous. They're served with lemon caper or sherry mustard sauce. Reservations are recommended, and they are in the heart of the French Quarter. Bayou Beer Garden. Well, it's in the name, isn't it? They have an amazing beer selection and a great bar food scene. Try the disco fries, topped with melted cheddar cheese and roast beef debris. No reservations. Wear what you wanna. The Blue Crab Restaurant and Oyster Bar. Sitting along the marinas of Lake Pontchartrain, it has amazing views and even better seafood. I suggest sautéed Louisiana crab claws served in a cream sauce with a cheese biscuit and a side of onion rings. Can you guess my menu, right? Reservations accepted for large parties. Next up is Boyle Seafood House. They have locations uptown and mid-city. The uptown location is right on Magazine as well. We love Boyle seafood here in Louisiana, and this takes it to the next notch. If you're unsure of what to try, get the taste of New Orleans. This includes a pound of blue crab, a pound of head-on Gulf shrimp, a pound of crawfish, one andouille sausage, 2 corns, 2 potatoes, and a partridge and a patrick. No, none of that. Reservations are accepted, and just follow your nose to great flavors. Boucherie. This term of a traditional Cajun gathering to prepare for the season's stores makes this an amazing name and restaurant. This is another location with a chef's tasting menu that you shouldn't skip. Reservations are recommended since this is a small neighborhood restaurant. We think you should definitely get them in advance. Bourbon House. This is part of the Dickie Brennan empire. This is his seafood restaurant, right on the corner of Bourbon Street. I love their redfish on the half shell served with the skin on with jumbo lump crab meat. Reservations are recommended. Brennan's New Orleans. This finalist of the James Beard's outstanding restaurants and the pinnacle of brunch celebration. Don't miss the Banana Fosters from the creators. Reservations are recommended, and any meal is worth your time there. Brightson's Restaurant. This restaurant is New Orleans at its heart. It's a family-owned, family-run boutique restaurant. It's built in an old home, so you could be in any one of numerous rooms. I think you should get the crawfish egg rolls and the roasted duck served with dirty rice. Reservations are recommended. Broussard's, another in the line of 100-plus-year-old restaurants. It's a New Orleans classic serving French classics. Try the bronzed redfish, which is served with crab meat, melliton sauce, and lemon beurre blanc. Again, they do accept reservations. Brown Butter Southern Kitchen and Bar. A place with meals rooted in Southern culture, says their website. I personally love the pimento cheese burger, and the andouille stuffed rabbit loin is pretty awesome if you like rabbit. Buffa's Bar and Restaurant. This is a great dive with amazing music and interesting food. They serve a jambalaya made with beer-soaked bratwursts. You can get reservations there for large parties. They're open 24 hours a day, but definitely check out their music calendar. That really makes them a worthwhile stop. And that completes B. All right, letter C. Café Degas. Just blocks away from Edward Degas' former home is this amazing French restaurant. It has a few dishes you shouldn't miss. The French onion soup is heavenly. The pan-seared rack of lamb served with fingerling potatoes sautéed with smoked Vidalia onions, bacon, and seared Brussels sprouts, and a smoked paprika vinaigrette. Hang on, I'm drooling, I'm wiping my face here. Reservations are recommended. Now here's one that you'll be not at all surprised is on the list. Café du Mont. Now, what else can be said? It's world famous. There are several locations, but the original in the French market is great to get your beignets, then walk up and watch the ships along the river. Camellia Grill. This is New Orleans diner like no other. Operating with only a small hiccup after Katrina since 1946, this is one of my favorite dives. I used to belly up to the counter in the 90s at any time of the day or night, and it's just as awesome today as it was then. Get the Juju omelet, which includes shrimp, grilled red onions, spinach, and cheese, or a whole meal sandwich. Check out that on their menus. No reservations, just walk in and sit up at the counter. Next up is Casamento's Restaurant. Now, serving stellar seafood since 1919 and known the world over for their oyster dishes. But plan ahead. They're closed on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, as well as all summer, June through August. Charlie's Steakhouse. Originally, they had no menu. You just said what steak you wanted. Nowadays, if you're feeling gluttonous, you want to get a Charlie. It's a grilled 32-ounce T-bone steak served on a sizzling platter. Reservations are recommended. I come with stretchy pants. Clover Grill. Now, if you're one who happens to be out late in the French Quarter drinking, this is the place for you. They have the best greasy burgers grilled under a hubcap or an all-day breakfast menu. No reservations, open 24 hours a day, right on Bourbon Street. Couchon. This is bringing Cajun cooking to an upscale level. Try the wood grill fired oysters. They're topped with chili garlic butter or any pork product since Couchon means pig. Reservations are recommended. Commander's Palace. An icon since 1893 and the winner of 7 James Beard Awards. Commander's Palace has evolved into a culinary legend. It's known for their everything. Pretty much everything, yes. And 25-cent weekday lunch martinis. Reservations are recommended, and if you can get in without your reservations, lucky you, but I've never had the opportunity to sneak in. Compare Le Pen. This is inside the old number 77 hotel. Their menu gets inspiration from the traditional Caribbean folk tales. It brings out Creole roots home to roost with items such as curried goat, which is served with sweet potato gnocchi and cashews. Reservations are accepted. Court of Two Sisters. Another great option in the heart of the French Quarter. Operating since 1920, bringing New Orleans Creole to all of us. I love the boudin stuffed pork chops, but the chef's menu is well worth it. They also have a wonderful brunch on the weekends. Reservations are recommended. Wrapping up letter C is Creola Restaurant. This is inside the Hotel Monteleone, just inches from the famous Carousel Bar. This restaurant is named for the Spanish word for Creole. Tells you what you're in store for, right? Start with the blue crab and corn beignets and finish with the key lime creme brulee. definitely get reservations here. Wow, we only made it to letter C. I don't know how many episodes this is going to take. We have a lot of restaurants here. And remember, this is just our choices, not even yours. Like I said, if we didn't mention someplace that you find amazing that fell in this category, please share it in the comments below and we can put it in later on. Please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the little like button. You can even hit the little bell. Check out our website at www.bigeasylife.org. And remember, thanks for being part of our Big Easy Life.